Sherry says, hi, Tad, thanks for doing this. I'm building a community on Mighty Networks similar to yours. What advice do you have for how to configure it?
Okay. Sherry, are you in my membership?
I am not yet, but I'm endeavoring to be.
Okay. Well, just because in my membership, I have a thread specifically of all my collected thoughts on memberships. So there's a whole thread because there's a lot to say. It's hard to summarize. What's your main concern around it?
I'm getting some help from the people there. I'm asking questions and it's just really slow motion. Like I ask the question and a couple of days later I get an answer and then it's an incomplete answer and then, on and on. So I guess, I just was wondering if you had any insight, if you could go back and do it all over again, if you had any insight that you'd want to say, well, make sure that upon the inception, you do this, this, and this.
Oy, yeah, that's okay. So
and it's okay if there's not an answer. I don't know what I don't know. So.
Oh, it's not that there's not an answer. It's that there's answers plural. There's so many. A lot of them in that thread. I mean, just because I could talk for 2 hours about on that exact question. One thing I would recommend though is I would see if you can find somebody who does coaching on this. I don't know anyone who does, but I would find somebody who does coaching on helping people build their mighty networks.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Just so you can get the questions answered faster, so it doesn't take so long. It's not so painful. You could just pay somebody for 2 hours of their time and probably be way further ahead than waiting. So my guess is there's somebody out there, maybe even on Fiverr.com, or I don't know where you'd find them, but I would ask around. My guess is there's somebody. You might even ask the people at Mighty Networks, do you know of anybody who does this thing?
Mm-hmm. Great idea.
Second, something I did that I absolutely recommend doing is make sure you hire somebody right from the beginning to help you with the admin side of it. And make sure that person gets training in Mighty Networks. So it doesn't all have to be you, but hire somebody. Don't try to do it because especially if you're going to launch something, you've got enough with the teaching and the content and the helping people and all the tech stuff. And there will be tech disasters. There's just always some trouble. You don't need to be thinking about that. So hire somebody walking in. The other thing is really think about repeatable things. Like try to think of the calendar of the year. So I've got these 4 semesters, we're coming up now to the business model semester. Next semester is hub marketing. Then it's meantime, that is point of view. 4 semesters, repeat every year. So the more you can have a structure like that, the easier it's going to get. The first year is nothing but labor. The first year you're putting in all the content, you're just populating it, you're organizing it, you're creating the architecture of it. I mean, this is my first time doing the business model semester, so I had to design the whole thing.
So
it's year 1, but it's like teaching at a public school or so, in school, the lesson plan. But year 2, oh man, now you just get to tinker with that lesson plan. Year 3, it's a polished lesson plan. In year 4, it's a pleasure. Year 4 it's just a breeze. But that doesn't happen if we're trying to make something new all the time. I would also really encourage start very simple. Don't start crazy. Just start with the simplest thing because it's easier to add than take away with the membership. If you take stuff away, people are like, but what? I'm paying the same amount and I'm getting less.
I know, it's like the Supreme Court.
Right. So yeah, start with little, add as you go. And what was I going to say? Also the start a little, add as you go. Consider inviting members to lead calls. Sometimes, in my membership, I've got a lot of member-led calls. Every Monday, there's a niching practice where somebody else shows up and just plays one of my videos and people go do the exercise around niching and then come back and talk about it. They facilitate it. On Wednesdays, there's a copy clinic, same thing, but people get together with their sales copy. On Thursdays, there's a study hall where they're working through the curriculum of the semester. I'm not at that one. There's a number of others that we're going to be adding. So just to know that sometimes, the members want the spaces and you may not have the bandwidth, but they may be happy to do it and just trade like, hey, I'll give you a free membership if you do this, is a possibility. And
would you like me to do anything to get a free membership on your Mighty Network?
It's possible. Feel free to email me about that. But anyways, those are some initial thoughts. There's a lot more in there, but I do recommend just getting professional help. I would just say for anyone, if you're going to do anything new, like a membership,
Mm-hmm.
spend a few $100s just to get some direct coaching with people, because it will shave years of time off and save a lot of disappointment on your people's end and drama on your end. So
yeah, I really want to have this be clean and very, very straightforward. And I love the idea about starting simple. Gesundheit. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.